want to say much about the Sudan because I am sure most of you know better about Sudan than I do. The only thing I want to say is I feel very proud of Ali, who is a dear friend and also happened to be my student. I met Ali also in the Sudan after he got his master's. I saw the level of commitment he had for his people, for Sudan. I mean, by focusing on the micro, he's also dealing with the macro at the national level. And I have done some work on the Sudan. And you can trace, actually, the tragedy of the Sudan, especially in terms of environmental degradation and the erosion of people's livelihoods through the Land Act of 1970. That act actually abolished the land rights of the tribal homelands, which were autonomous, a kind of semi-states recognized by the British, not because they liked them, but they found them cost-effective. The tribes managed themselves, and that was costly. But it was also favorable to the livelihoods of the people, and the Sudanese people actually demonstrated an amazing ability to solve conflicts. And there were tribal conferences that were convened by the British and by the tribal leaders, where they resolved conflicts, where they regulated allocation of water, grazing resources, and so on. You can even trace the conflict in Darfur. People attribute it to environmental degradation. But actually, there were signs between the Kababish and the Darfuri tribes, even at that time, in the turn of the century, when there was an encroachment on the land by the pastoralists, supported by the British. So what Ali has done, the reason why I feel very proud of Ali is that he is committed to public causes. There are very few of us. We educate ourselves using taxpayers' money, and we literally detach ourselves from our cultural background, and we become foreigners in our own societies. Ali has actually proven to us that we can play a critical role by at least giving voice to the voiceless. And I think you have made history, and I feel very, very proud.
Thank you very much for the professor. And now, والآن نترك الفرصة للسادة الحضور للتعقيب والأسئلة يعني.
Can I stand from here or No, come forward. دكتور عمر شكيال. عمر برضو بالمناسبة كاتب وباحث له باع طويل كتابه عن السودان برضو مخطوط في المناطق المهمة في السودان اللي عايز يشتري يعني. تفضل يا دكتور.
شكرا جزيلا. I don't know, do I have to speak in English or Arabic? Okay, I assume everybody understands English, so no problem about that. Speak in English. Well, regarding the author, and well, I'm not going to publicize the author, but I've got some few remarks I have to say about him because being my colleague at the University of Jazeera, and also my colleague here is in political activism, Ali Askouri is a very serious worker and a very serious activist as well. Judging by the way we studied at the University of Jazeera, full of exams, semester system, and high caliber of work, I'm quite sure this book, which is not here anyway, it would be a very good source of material for everybody who is really dedicated to the cause of people. And also, he took the matter seriously. This is why he even, while he was doing his master's degree, he was also contributing to exam project he was taking upon himself. And because of his people, obviously, and because of the general wider interest of the Sudanese people in that area. My question or my comment is, I know when High Dam Bed was built a long time ago during Nasser, Egypt, there was a lot of international outcry, especially from the UNESCO. They spent so much money and so much huge effort to try to salvage the archaeology in that area. I am just wondering why they did not do this time regarding the Marawi Dam and the other dam, which was the other one? Kajbar Dam as well. I am saying this because of my involvement or my studies in history. I know that part of Sudan was very much rich in history. Even the archaeologists and the historians nowadays, they believe that the history of Egypt actually came from Sudan up to the north. And there are a lot of research which were done in that. Like if you read the book of Adam Williams, Nubia Corridor to Africa, which is a very big book. The man spent about 7 years in the area and tried to do research, talk to people, gather information. He wrote a very massive book about the archaeology and about the history of that part of Sudan. Also, Basil Davidson, he spent so much time writing about African history, and in particular, he wrote also about the Nubia and the history of that part. I'm just wondering why UNESCO did not spend a single money or lead a campaign to try to salvage the archaeology of that area, because now I'm quite sure you touched about the economic impact of the project on the people. You also probably talk about the political situation, the social displacement, and other effects of it. I hope you should have, or you might have also spoke about the cultural, about the archaeological and historical impact of the area. And thank you very much.
لو في زول عايز يتكلم بالعربي يعني ممكن ما في مشكلة. قيم دكتور قيم آخر زول فضل معانا من ضيوفنا الأيام وهو بيتكلم عربي ولا شنو يا دكتور؟ بيفهم عربي سوداني يعني فما عنده مشكلة يعني أي زول يعني داير يشارك وكده مرحبا بيه يعني.
I'd like to ask Ali, rather.
The
question was not. I mean, the question of dealing with the consequences of the dam and to campaign against it. It was essentially, of course, a political matter in its essence. Yeah. But do you think that politicizing the struggle against the dam in a particular way was a problem? I mean, what I mean is that it could not have been done except in a political context. But was it wise to put it in a particular political context? I don't know if you know what I mean, but because it was associated with a certain with the anti-government political movement, and within that, with the SPLA. I mean, that's a problem in any way. I was just thinking about this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's it.
شكرا جزيلا. I welcome to, first of all, our appreciation for the effort put by Ali Askari in producing this book. I know it takes a lot of effort to write an ordinary book. Forget about writing a work of mind and side and so on. Anyway, I would like to say that the problem in Sudan, which you have been doing your best to explain or to put in an easy way for people to understand, is the problem. The problem in Sudan is the government is the very today's problem with the government we had in Sudan since, of course, 25 years ago. Because we didn't have dams built in Sudan, I remember, in the last, before this government came, there were no dams built. The last one was Roseres, I guess, in 1966 or something, 1967. So why was the need there to build so many dams in such a short time in the last 10 years? We should ask the question, is it really for us? Is it really for Sudan? Or are we serving somebody else with these dams? Because until now, what are the benefits? We don't see much benefits. Was it electricity? We don't have enough electricity until now. We could have had it other ways. But the question is, the government in place, since they came, they wanted to show themselves as doing things, as somebody who is really executing projects. And as the say goes around, Kubriye Musad, Musad, isn't it? The government in place wanted to make propaganda for itself. So they went around building some bridges and some roundabouts, Siniten, I guess, also Siniten, Kubriye. They went around showing themselves as executors. Actually, they're executing us. They're not doing anything that's suitable for the Sudan. So what is the use of building these things except that they want to say that we have done something. We have produced oil, they said so. Oil has been existing in Sudan, and what did we get out of oil? We got a catastrophe out of oil. More corruption, the south is gone, war is still raging around in the Sudan because of the oil. The same thing is about dams. Actually, the dams are damned, isn't it? This is how I see it. So, thank you very much, Ali, for, I met Ali only in this country. I didn't know him before. Of course, there is a age gap between him and myself, but I like him very much for his stubbornness in trying to do something about Sudan's situation now. He went all the way to China. That's what he told me one time. I'm sure this is written in your book. He went to China campaigning against the dam, and he has been to many places. So, could we profit from your book in stopping the other dams which are underway, Kajbar, Dal, I don't know what, and really it is Shirek and other things. Anyway, not to be long, thank you very much, Ali.
دقيقة سهلة أنا حد يزور هناك لأنه قعدت كبير يعني. تفضل. بديك فرصة يعني. هقول طيب أنا ما عرفت أقول.
رودي ما. السلام عليكم. ويا سهير نستميحك عذرا يا خليني اجرب الانجليزي بتاعنا شويه. Okay, I'm really very sorry, or I'm unlucky because I failed to attend from the beginning. But I really I don't have lot, or I don't know a lot about dams, but I can feel the severe pain of dispossession. The main argument, let me for